My name is David Garcia with DTLA Insurance Solutions out in California, and today we're going to be going over Alliance Group's funnel system that I started several months ago, and I've had tremendous success. And here are the things that we're going to be covering. Number one is once you get the lead, how to get these people on the phone. Secondly is once you get these people on the phone, what exactly to tell them. Okay. Third is handling objections. Okay, how to overcome them. For example, these people, you're doing all the business typically over the phone, and you might get objections if they don't want to give you their social security number or their bank account. We're going to be going over how to overcome those. Also, I'm going to show you how to get referrals, how to turn your one sale from the funnels lead system into 4 or 5. Okay. Lastly, I'm going to go over some tips and some tricks, some odds and ends that I've learned over the last few months where I may have made mistakes and I have corrected them. That way you don't have to make those same mistakes, where ultimately you guys can have the same success that I'm having now. So we got lots to cover. Let's go ahead and get started. To get your funnels leads turned on, the leads are going to start funneling in. Okay. So as soon as you get that lead, you're going to want to call that lead immediately. Okay. The reason behind that is these people just inquired it either on your Instagram or your Facebook ad, and they're ready to buy. Okay. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, probably about 70% of people will not answer when you call them immediately. And that's fine. That's why we have the email and the text campaigns. They're going to start immediately after they inquire. And it's going to continue to go on roughly for about a month. Okay. Now, I personally have my assistant call every single lead 3 times a day. And you need to be relentless with every single one of these leads. Okay. For me, a lead isn't bad until I actually get them on the phone and I know that they're not interested. Okay. And I recently had an example with a client who had inquired 2.5 months ago. And, my assistant's been calling her every day since then, and she finally picked up last week. And, I got on the phone and I asked her, what happened? Why did it take, 2.5 months to finally get a hold of you? And she's like, Dave, I put my home number and I never answer it. I just answered it this one time, and thank God it was you, and I've been wanting this, and ended up turning it into a sale and took care of her and her family. But most importantly is you need to be relentless and call these leads literally every single day until it's either you set it or you eliminate it. Okay. Now I've gone over how to get these people on the phone. The next step is we're going to be going over what to tell these people once we get them on the phone. So now that you got your client on the phone, okay, this is what I say. I say, hey John, it's David Garcia, your local living benefit specialist. I see that you recently inquired on either my Facebook or Instagram ad, and you're interested in life insurance with some free living benefits. And then I ask them, what they're looking to accomplish and how it can help them out. Okay. And then after that, I pause and I remain silent. And then I wait. And you're going to wait, and they're going to tell you a story of the reason what made them make a move to fill out their information and inquire. Whether it is they had a younger sister that was just diagnosed with breast cancer, whether they have existing insurance and with no living benefits and they want to upgrade and add the free living benefits at no additional cost, or they simply just don't have any insurance. Okay, whatever the reason is, they're going to tell you how to sell themselves, and whatever they tell you, you just use that to know how to move forward with them and help them out. So after you do that, then you want to sell yourself. Okay, what I mean by sell yourself is you're just going to give them some information about your little bio. I typically tell them, hey, I've been in the business about 15 years, and I let them know that I'm a broker. I have access to all the companies that do business in California. For example, American National, National Life Group, and Transamerica, just to name a few. And I let them know that the value that I bring to the table is I'm able to shop them with all the companies that offer living benefits, as opposed to them going with a captive agent like State Farm or Allstate, where consequently, those agents have to say that their company is the best. But we know there's not one company that has the best plan for all different types of coverages. And they don't even offer the living benefits. What I'm going to do is something I call the takeaway. Okay? People want what they can't have. All right? So I'm going to tell the client, hey, John, I know you're interested in some life insurance with some free living benefits, which is great and all. But you know what, John, I don't even know if you can have it. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to pre-qualify you. I'm going to ask you some questions to see if you would even qualify. John, do you currently have any major medical issues? For example, any diabetes, any cancer, any history of heart issues? And then what medications are you on? I don't ask them if they're taking medications. I assume that they are. And if they don't, which is great. But I also tell them, John, the insurance companies are going to know if you've been prescribed any medication in the last 10 years. So you got to be completely honest. And then after that, and if they qualify, then I'll let them know you seem to be a good candidate for living benefits. So what we're going to do now is we're going to run you some quotes. In order to do that, you're going to ask them for their date of birth and their height and weight. Okay. And with that information, you'll be able to run them a quick quote. And also, you're going to want to ask them what city they're from. And you're going to use that as an opportunity to build some rapport. For example, the client last week, she said she was from Colton. She went to my same high school. So I used that opportunity to build some rapport. And also it just reiterates that you are their local living benefits specialist right in their area. Okay. So then you're going to ask the client how much coverage they're looking for. So I would say, hey, John, so how much coverage are you looking to get? They might start low, like 100,000, 200,000, or they'll just pause and they'll start thinking. And I'll usually interject at that time and tell, well, John, typically what my clients do is they apply for $1 million face amount, which is the maximum amount of coverage you can get without typically having to do a paramedical exam. Okay. And what that does, it excites the client because they probably would have never thought that they could have a $1 million policy with all of these living benefits. Okay, and I'll obviously I'm not going to offer $1 million policy to a 65-year-old. If they're age 35 to 50, I'll do it. If they're older past 50, I'll probably set the bar at 500,000 just to fill them out and see what it is, and then I'll run them a quote. And I typically only do a 20-year or above quote because if that comes back a little more, we can always offset the cost and lower the years. Okay, and then you're going to continue the process on running the client a quote. It's going to take approximately 3 to 7 minutes. Okay, however, you don't want it to feel awkward and there be silence for 3 to 7 minutes. So I use this as an opportunity to have the client add me on my Facebook. I'll say, hey, John. I'm going to start running you some quotes. Okay, it's going to take a couple minutes. While you wait, will you do me a favor and add me on Facebook? Go ahead. My name is David, middle initial X, last name Garcia. I'll continue to run the quote. 2-3 minutes are going by. I'll say, hey, John, were you able to request me? And obviously they'll finally do it, and then I'll add them real quick. I'll stop doing the quote, and then I'll add them. And then continue doing the quote. But very importantly, once I accept their request, then I always tell them, hey, John, you know what? We're friends now. And, they'll always chuckle. And then I'll tell them, do you feel comfortable moving forward? And they say, yes, Dave. Now, when you're finishing running those quotes, guess what they're doing? They're looking at your Facebook profile page, right? To me, that's just as good as driving to the client's house, going in, shaking their hands, and you find yourself when you're building rapport with these clients, to let them know you're a good family guy or whatever it is. You show them pictures of your family, of all your kids or whatever, and it just lets them know that you're a real person. You're not a robot. I say, hey, you see my 3,300 friends? I didn't start this, last night, type of deal. And then I go into the quotes. But very important to add them on Facebook because that's going to be the big difference if they want to give you all their information, like their social, very importantly, their bank information. So your main objective is to do a one-step close. Now, the way to get a one-step close is you're going to have to be able to overcome any objections on the fly as they come to you. So I'm going to go over the top 3 objections that I've ran into and let you know how I handle them at a pretty good successful rate. So objection number 1, and this is going to be your main objection, is they don't want to give you their bank account or their social security number, right? Now, hopefully you've avoided this by building rapport throughout the whole sales process, adding them on Facebook, making them, laugh, sharing some stories with your clients that relate to them, type of deal. But you are going to get that 20% of people that are still going to be hesitant to give you that information. Okay, so for the 20% of the people that are going to be hesitant to give their social security number or their bank information, I just tell them like this. I say, John, it's not me that needs this information. In order for me to submit the application, the insurance company requires. It's a requirement, okay? Just to see if we can even qualify, because I don't even know if you can qualify. Or you're going to get people that are driving home from work and they're hesitant to give you their bank information just because they said, oh, I'm driving, can I text it to you later? And I've had a couple people tell me that. I've never got that text. I'm still waiting. Okay, so definitely that doesn't work. You just gotta be a little more upfront, and I'll tell them, hey John, listen, I know you're driving, okay, but we've been on the phone for about 23 minutes and 17 seconds. I'll actually look on my phone and see how long we've been on the phone. And I was like, it's only going to take another 15 seconds for you just to go on your mobile phone app and pull up your account information. I'll go ahead and wait. And then 9 out of 10 times they'll give it to you at that time. And that's how you overcome those objections right there. Last and worst case scenario, if they're still not budging and giving you that bank account information, you can tell them, John, I'll tell you what, I'll meet you in the middle. I'll go ahead and get this submitted for you. And we'll do COD, which is cash on delivery, and just to get the ball rolling, okay? Don't plan on that sale ever going through. But I mean, geez, since you've already done all the work, hey, guess what? Maybe 1 out of 5 of those will go through. But that's absolutely worst case scenario. You definitely want to get all the information first call. I'm not recommending it, but hey, if you got to do it, go ahead and do it. Just know probably 1 out of 5 of those cases will go paid. His biggest objection is they're going to tell you that they need to sleep on it, think about it, pray on it, talk to their Uncle Harry that sold insurance 20 years ago. We've all heard these objections. But what they're saying is you really haven't moved them enough to want to make a move and apply for the policy. Okay, so at this point what you want to do is you want to isolate their objection. So for example, if they said, Dave, I need to think about it. You tell them, hey, John, okay, great. Besides needing to think about it, is there any other reason why you wouldn't want to apply to see if you can even qualify for these living benefits? And they're going to tell you no. Okay, well, realistically, John, you tell them you're going to have about 2 weeks to think about it. Because right now, I don't even know if you can have it. The way the process works is we're going to submit your application for insurance. And in approximately 2 weeks, 1 of 2 things are going to happen. You're either going to get approved or you're not. Worst case scenario, you don't get approved. And you don't really have to think about anything anymore, John, because you can't have it. But what should happen is we do get you approved. And at that time, I don't know to the exact penny how much your options are going to be. And then that's when you're going to make the decision if you want to move forward or not. Big objection that you're going to get is send me some information. Okay. When they say that, I say, John, absolutely. I'm in total agreement with you. After we submit this application, I'm going to be sending you an email, and attached to that is going to be all my personal information, website to my company, and all that information so that we can move forward and they can contact me at any time. So those have been my top 3 objections that I've encountered running the Alliance funnel system the last few months. And in order to get this one-step close, you're going to have to be able to overcome any of these objections that come your way and navigate through them. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, you're not going to be able to submit an application, and ultimately you're not going to be able to help these people, which that's what we're here to do. Some odds and ends that I've learned over the last few months on this funnel system is you always, after you introduce yourself, you want to start with an open-ended question. And earlier I had stated, hey, what are you looking to accomplish and how can I help you? In turn, what you're doing is you're making them realize that they have a problem, okay? You're going to listen to that problem, and then you're going to offer them a solution, okay? And it's just reiterating that, hey, guess what? They reached out to you. They contacted you, and they need your help. So if you ask this question right, okay, and stop and listen, they will tell you how to sell them. It's human psychology that people want what they can't have. So that's why I'm constantly, throughout the sales presentation over the phone, I constantly remind them that even if they wanted this, I don't even know if they can have it, okay? I let them know that the only decision that they have to make right then and there is to see if they can even qualify for the living benefits, okay? I tell them the way the process works is they have to submit an application for the insurance company, and in a couple of weeks, if I'm able to get them approved, that's when they're going to make the buying decision if they choose to move forward. Small thing, but the reason why my sales have skyrocketed is adding all my clients on my Facebook, okay? What this does, it establishes a good relationship with them, okay? It lets them know that you're a local member of their community. They go on there, they're able to see your family and things of that nature. And what it does is it builds trust. So ultimately, they are going to give you all the information so you can submit an application via phone, because hearing you and seeing you are two totally different things, right? So adding the client on Facebook has made such a tremendous difference. It has attributed to all the success that I've had on this lead system. Referrals is everything, okay? So with these funnels, leads that you're going to be getting, you want to think big. You want to just use these to build the foundation for your business. But off of every funnel sale, you want to be getting at least 1 or 2 referrals. Okay. Now the way I do it is after they're approved and I deliver the policy, I'll ask them, hey John, are you satisfied with this customer service that I provided for you? So obviously they're going to say yes. So then I ask them, hey John, give me one person that could use the living benefits and I could provide exceptional service as I did for you. Who's it going to be? And I don't even give them. I'm not asking. I'm pretty much telling them. And guess what? They do it every single time, because by the time that you deliver the policy, they're excited. You've came through for them, and really these living benefits are great. And I'm pretty sure they have talked to several people already. I'm averaging about three referrals per client right now when I'm delivering the policies. So another thing that I started doing recently is I would tell my clients, I'd say, hey John, now that I've came through for you, I'll ask him if he could do me a favor, give me a shout out on Facebook, letting everyone know how happy he is in getting these living benefits, and I'll have him tag me. So in turn, what that does is it lets all my friends on Facebook see it, lets all his friends on Facebook see it, and all the new clients I'm gonna be adding. How powerful is that? That your clients are giving you shout outs, and also what that's going to do, it's going to lead to a lot more opportunities that you wouldn't have had in the first place.